All right, it's episode 77 of the Wait for It Seattle podcast at Seatown Sports. Normally, I would say I'm Brian and this is Kevin, but Kevin decided that real life, real parenting, and real jobs are more important than our podcast, which, what are you going to do? So, Kevin gave me the reins to just flow, freestyle, solo, and then we'll have my wife, Dana, on to do a little Wifecast after a bit. But I'm going to start with just important things going on in Seattle sports, things we got to talk about. If Kevin was here, we'd talk about Husky recruiting, top 15 class in the country for football. But he's not here, so I don't have to talk about it. And so instead, I'm going to lead off with your Seattle Seahawks. My goodness, are they good? 37-9 winners over the Falcons. It was 6-6 at halftime. They outscored Atlanta 31-3 in the second half. And honestly, I went into the game thinking Kirk Cousins can't move. Kirk Cousins is no longer really a great quarterback. They're gonna beat Kirk Cousins up, and it's not gonna be pretty. And in the first half, I was like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe all these Vegas bettors that took the line from 8 down to 6.5 were right about the Falcons, and they weren't. The Seahawks second half was dominant. It was really actually pretty incredible. Um, they got it from everywhere. I thought Witherspoon had a great game that we hadn't kind of seen in a while. Um, Sam Darnold was tremendous in the second half. Jackson Smith and Jigba kind of shut up some people who might have thought, "Oh, look what happens if you shade coverage his way or whatever that the Vikings might have done to him was somehow limited JSN." But no, JSN, just so we're all on the same page, is still the top receiver in the NFL by almost 300 yards over anybody else. Um, Not only that, he has the most first downs receiving in the NFL by one over George Pickens and four over Puka Nacua, who are kind of the top three in every category. He's got 9 touchdowns now. He's averaging 109.8 yards per game. Nobody else is over 100 in the NFL. JSN's killing it. Sam Darnold, um, I think is what everybody would be kind of concerned about come playoff time. And I think that's fair, but he's sixth in yards in the NFL. Quarterback rating, Sam Darnold is sixth as well. If you go QBR, a different metric, he's down to 8, but he's a top 10 quarterback this year in the NFL. The turnovers make everybody nervous. Well, Sam Darnold has 22 touchdowns passing and 11 interceptions, which isn't awesome. But put it in perspective. Josh Allen has 22 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. Patrick Mahomes, 22 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Dak Prescott, 26 and 10. Justin Herbert, 21 and 10. Um, Stafford's having an incredible year. Um, but outside of Stafford and Drake May, who's honestly been great with 23 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, who else is really having a better year? So Sam Darnold's doing great. He had a great second half of that game. He ended up 20 for 30 on the game. Um, the defense overall was awesome. I think Atlanta was 1 of 13 on third downs, and there were a lot of passes defended. I heard somewhere that there were 10, I think, in the game, which is silly. But we got to talk about Nick Emmanwori for a second. When Nick Emmanwori was drafted, Mike McDonald compared him to Kyle Hamilton, and everyone thought that was a little silly. And it might still be because Kyle Hamilton's insane. But Nick Emmanwori had a sack, a tackle for loss, which was awesome on Tyler Algier, an interception, and a blocked field goal in the same game. The Seahawks are the only team in NFL history to have a player do this. And it's Nick Emmanwori, except for they have two, and Leonard Williams also did it last year, which is a crazy stat. With Julian Love coming back, that defense is sick. Nick Emmanwori, it looks like the steal of the draft, honestly. He was incredible, and the announcers were just praising him because of how good he was in that game. He's playing faster now that the season is later, and I feel bad for the Colts, who lost Daniel Jones and are going to maybe start Philip Rivers next week. It's one of those things where I'm looking forward to watching the Seahawks play defense, and I don't even care what they do in offense to a certain extent, which reminds me of the Legion of Boom era. It's pretty fun. So that's number one. Second thing I want to talk about this week is the Mariners made a big trade. No, big trade is probably not fair. They made a trade, and it was big to Seattle people because they traded away Harry Ford, who has been this prized prospect in our minds for a couple of years now. He has nowhere to play in Seattle other than the Mitch Garver backup catcher role because obviously Cal Raleigh. Ford could move to another position. Doesn't sound like that was ever part of the plan. He could maybe be a part-time DH, part-time catcher. His value in Seattle is pretty low, but I think Seattle fans all thought his value across the league was much higher as a top 100 prospect. He's gonna, if we trade him, it's gonna be some massive return. And what the Mariners got back for Harry Ford and another minor league pitcher was Jose Ferrer, a lefty reliever. And the initial reaction was, and this included people who texted me, friends of mine, was like, what are we doing? Or um, they should have made a bidding war for Harry Ford. And I think the right response would be maybe don't trust Dipoto and Hollander. Maybe don't think they can do this, but why would they sell Ford low? If he had the ability to go for more, why wouldn't they just go get more? I don't think it's because they're not shrewd negotiators. I think the Josh Naylor deal last year and the Suarez deal and the Randy Arozarena deal before that, the Luis Castillo deal, is proof that they can trade. You may not like things that Dipoto and Hollander do, maybe particular Dipoto because you want the Mariners to win the World Series, but to say they're not shrewd traders or get good value is silly if you look at the history of trades. There are some that don't work out, but a lot that do. Um, I think we should be more excited about the return. Ford wasn't going to do much swinging the pendulum in 2026, right? He would have been a nice backup catcher, maybe, but we don't even know that that's the case yet because he hasn't done it. Um, we also don't know if the reliever Ferrer is going to be awesome, but metrics wise, and people who know pitching are excited about him. Um, Maybe less swing and miss than you'd want, but high 90s fastball. I've seen it top at 99, some highlights, but it's really like 97.7. But he really relies on a changeup a lot, and he relies on inducing ground balls, which I think the fairest criticism I saw is the infield defense of the Mariners isn't great. Crawford's getting older. Second base, who knows who's going to be there? If it's Polanco, if they can re-sign him, Cole Young, somebody else. And if the infield defense isn't great, then a ground ball pitcher has less value. That's a totally fair thing. But getting a second lefty in the pen, if you listen to our podcast, you know all I want are bullpen arms. So I love this trade. Yeah, I was going to hesitate and say I don't love it, but I do. I love any bullpen piece that makes the Mariners better in 2026. A lot of rumblings that they're going to do something big here at the winter meetings. So maybe when this podcast comes out, they've made another trade. We can only hope they keep adding to the lineup. But I think it's an exciting trade, and I think people's reactions show that we overvalued Harry Ford in Seattle, and that wasn't his value on the market. All right, third thing I want to talk about is Husky basketball. Touch on the women's, then go to the men's. Women's Husky basketball, they went down to USC and just showed that they haven't really played enough competition. I don't know that we can get a lot out of their loss. They were up 8-0 in the game. The Huskies were. They ended up losing by 8. It was a closer game than that. El Ladine couldn't hit a basket. Avery Howell was struggling from three, but had a double double. The big struggled. USC's good. Jazzy Davidson's the top, freshman in the country. USC's good. They're a good team. They're on the road. But to Kevin's kind of ridiculous claim last week that the Huskies could win the Big Ten, there's 5 teams that aren't even USC that could make claim to the Big Ten title. Maryland's a top 10 team in the country. UCLA is a top 10 team in the country. Iowa's really good. Michigan State's really good. Michigan is really good. The list goes on. That doesn't include USC. So the Husky women are going to have their work cut out for them this year. And it was kind of weird to play a game so early and then not play a conference game for a while. But as we get to the end of December, kind of, Christmas break for a lot of us in schools, they're going to start playing a pretty aggressive schedule. I think they play Northwestern, then they have Michigan, Michigan State. So we'll know early on how legit the Huskies are. But I'm not worried about it. Husky men had a crazy game at USC. They were down 18 at half. It looked like the season's a disaster, and they had an epic comeback in one on the road against a team that was previously undefeated that's ranked. Desmond Claude in a return to USC was great. It was the Claude we were looking for, attacking the basket, strong in traffic, pretty good decision making. And Steinbach was, again, offensively just a monster, and he gets so much on the offensive boards that make his game just delightful to watch. Against UCLA last week, which I went to that game, Steinbach had 29 points and 10 rebounds. He was 11 for 12 from the field and 7 for 8 from the line. That's pretty silly on offense, as a freshman especially. And then on the road at USC, Steinbach just put up a cool 24 and 16. His rebounding numbers are insane. He's the best offensive rebounder in the country. I don't think there's any debate about that at this point. Um, so Steinbach and if Claude can do something, they're intriguing. I'm not ready to jump on board yet. And the reason I'm not ready to jump on board is I have three concerns from watching them live a couple times about this Husky team. Number one is their pick and roll defense. So this is going to get kind of nerdy basketball, but they blitz or red double team a lot of pick and rolls on defense, yet they don't have somebody tagging or covering in help the roller. So they have defenders off on the weak side engaged with their player and not enough engaged in the action on the other side when there's a pick and roll. So if you're going to blitz or double team the ball, you have to have aggressive rotations, and they're way too slow, and they're getting smoked on pick and rolls. Um, with that said, also a concern is as good as he is, Steinbach is getting picked on defense. UCLA and Mick Cronin, who's really good, just went at him in the second half. And if you go watch highlights, even if you just watch, UCLA possessions, you'll see how much they threw into the post on him and attacked him with guards on switches and different things. So Steinbach's got to be better defensively. The second one is the baseline out of bounds, inbounds plays for the Huskies are not doing anything. They go four flat, if you can imagine, four across the baseline. They're throwing it in and doing almost nothing, if not an isolation play for Claude or sometimes Zoom. And sometimes they'll throw in and then Steinbach will roll his man and they'll post up, kind of a high-low action. But they need, I don't know, maybe their philosophy is to just get the ball in. My philosophy as a coach was always these are 50-50 plays that you have control over as a coach. So if you can stop the other team from scoring on those and you can get some buckets, if you win those situations by 6 points, that's a change in the game. That's a huge change. So that's a concern for mine as well. But the biggest concern is I don't know what their identity is as a team. So they had this great half against USC, and it was a lot of guys just getting, it's not even hot because they weren't shooting threes necessarily, but like getting the right matchup and attacking the hoop. I don't know if we're trying to run pick and roll. I don't know if we're trying to run ISOs all the time, which it looked like a lot of the second half was ISOs for Zoom or for Claude or for Yates. I don't know if we're trying to drive and kick. JJ Mandaquit doesn't seem to have a role anymore because he's kind of a facilitator, and I'm not sure that they want that. They seem to be wanting to go one-on-one from the top or a two-man game at the ball pick. And defensively, I'm like, are we trying? So if we're trapping ball screens, are we trying to be fast and aggressive and play in transition? Well, sometimes we run, and sometimes the Huskies don't run. Sometimes they set it up and they go slow. I don't know what their identity is. I don't know if they're trying to be a fast team. I don't know if they're trying to shoot a bunch of threes. I don't know if they're trying to post up because they have Steinbach and now they have this new player that enrolled yesterday from Romania. I don't know what their plan is. Um, and maybe they're still trying to figure it out, but that's my biggest concern for Husky men's basketball. So look out for that. All right, those are the big three things of the week. I'm going to ignore everything else because that's way too much of me talking. Probably already logged off. That's all right. My mom will listen. Maybe. I'm gonna take a little break here, and then I'm gonna come back with my wonderful wife Dana, which what we like to call the Wifecast. And it's a real wild card. We don't know what's gonna happen when she comes on, so we will get right back to it. Okay, well, here we are, back again, the Wifecast. I invited my wonderful spouse.
It's the first time I've been on the picture.
I think you were on before. You just didn't know it, but that's okay. Um, I already talked about some things on this week's podcast episode, but I thought, yeah, there we go. Put on those headphones.
There you go.
I just thought maybe we'd let you cook. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like let them cook.
yeah.
Yeah. So what's on your mind? Seattle sports, Dana?
The first thing is, uh, well, it's kind of two questions. What do you think is better? Do you think the Seahawks offense is better, or do you think the Seahawks defense is better? Or which is more contributing to their success? Well, I just thought of like three more questions, but let's just start with that one.
Okay. Let me counter question and then I'll answer.
Mm, please do.
What percent of your time in a day have you actually been thinking about that?
Today,
Yeah.
percentage of the 24 hours, or like percent?
Since you've been awake this morning.
How many times have I thought about it?
Sure. Yeah.
Like five or six or seven?
Oh. Ooh.
I can't.
All right. The defense.
Okay.
Kevin and I talked about last week. We think that the defense could be the best unit of a team in the NFL. So if you took everybody's offense, defense, and special teams, if you ranked them, right? So like,
Right, then you're walking right into
okay,
the meat of my question.
great.
Uh, what are we gonna call the defense?
Oh, that is a good question.
Yeah, because the Legion of Boom had a name, had a posse, had a label, had a thing, and this defense seems like it's label worthy.
It's a great question.
They can't call them Legion of Boom.
I have no answers. I,
Okay.
I feel like I'm bad at it. Are you good
Yeah,
at names?
I
Name?
mean, not at all.
We're a bad
Like,
duo for this.
but but I do know. So
Kevin's worse though, so.
so I watched most of the third quarter
Hmm.
at a burger joint in Tempe, Arizona called Paradise Valley Burgers or something
They're
like
not a
that.
sponsor, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, it was a great, fantastic place. I probably have the name wrong. I know it's Paradise Valley. Doobie-doobie-doo. It was between Wingstop and Chipotle. And then
Okay.
there was like a local, and I don't know if it's a chain or just one spot, but it was one of those great. The dad that chose it said that Guy Fieri had had it on diners, drive-ins, and
Well,
dives at one
I'm
point.
in.
And there was definitely like the menu. There was like the standard cheeseburger and then the fun ones.
I got in this argument at work with a
Yeah,
teacher who teaches English, who will not be named. I like him a lot.
a teacher who teaches.
He's an English teacher,
Got
and
it.
they teach. He and another English teacher teach about writing styles, different types of writing, and restaurant writing is one of them. And there's a Guy Fieri thing that they were doing, and he was just slamming Guy Fieri, and I was like, absolutely not. You
He's
take
he's
that hate out of your mouth.
he's
Guy Fieri is.
he's a target, but
I
he's
get
not.
it, but
Yeah,
what, we're gonna slam him
kind
because
of
he
owns
likes diners,
himself.
drive-ins, and dives? Like
Yeah,
he's an
he
everyday.
leans into his vibe.
Yeah, he leans into his vibe. He knows who he is, and he just loves America and eating. And I
Do
just
you know what
think
I
stop
remember?
slamming Guy Fieri.
Like I've been like, I don't slam people very often unless they're really bad people.
Yeah,
And
you.
I don't believe he's really bad.
Oh, where's
Uh,
this going?
Well, no, I just remember at the very beginning of like the COVID pandemic shutdown, he, I remember watching some snippet or video or of him raising money for Feeding
Yeah,
America that like I was like, he just has a huge, he's just a crazy dude with a huge heart.
yeah. Leave Guy Fieri alone. Anyway, we have no
And
names
he
for the
loves Skips,
defense for the Seahawks right now.
but they need one. So I watched most of the third quarter at Paradise Valley oh,
Oh
yeah.
boy, ladies
It's
and
all
gentlemen,
coming back to
this
me.
is what ADD looks like.
uh, I got something with like roasted green pepper. It was great. Whatever I got had good sauce on it and good accoutrement, all the things. Felix got dino nuggies. That's what it said on the menu. I think
Yep.
it didn't even say dino nuggets. It said dino nuggies and fries. And the fries were good. We ate fries. Both of the other kids with him were like, "That's what you got?" And they all had like real like, "You're just getting dino nuggies?"
Yep.
And then they would guess what shape the dino nuggies were. It was great. And then they were like, "You want ketchup with your fries and dino nuggies?" He was like, "No." So then,
So are
but the
you?
point is, he also got a Lucky Charms milkshake.
Oh,
It was 9 out of 10, one of the best milkshakes
oh.
I've ever had in my life. I will dream about it. It had a perfect consistency to the milk part, and I love Lucky Charms marshmallows. That's just like a thing I'll never let go of. Um, it had, I don't know if it's the right malt or what it was. It reminded me of the Milk Bar cereal milk milkshake, and I think that that was not lost on the people creating this milkshake.
So
It was so good.
the
I'm
Lucky
just
Charms
thinking about it.
milkshake is like Leonard Williams or Nick Emanwari last week.
Imanori. That's
And
what Nick Imanori. So then
the
I was
hold
watching the
on,
third
can
quarter
I
and he
finish?
got his first interception and he's a rookie. I was so excited. That's what I was going to.
Okay,
And then I
Lucky.
watched something this morning because I slept in and I had a sub at work because I didn't fall asleep till
Nobody needs all this.
1:25 a.m. last night. I don't care. Uh, I heard that I thought that huge smile and one interception was his only highlight. I left
No, I
no
talked about it
no
earlier on the podcast. He had a great game.
stop.
Yeah. So he's the Lucky Charms milkshake, and maybe like Anthony Bradford, the offensive guard, is like the Dino Nuggies of the Seahawks. Sorry, Anthony Bradford. Okay, what
Maybe
else?
that's the name of the defunct Dino Nuggies.
What else do you want to talk about?
Oh, so then Saturday, did the UW women's basketball team play Saturday?
They played last night, Sunday.
Oh,
The men played
I
on
lost
Saturday.
track. Well, I don't know which one. I think it was the women. I'm on a group chat with
Yes.
you and can I say names and
Yeah.
some friends? Justin, the super fan,
Super fan.
Claire,
Claire, not a
also
super fan,
not
but she did
as
say a clip.
she's a fan, and also me. And
Oh, I thought we were talking about fans of the podcast. Justin's a super fan. Claire's not. Huskies, they're both super fans. Yeah.
yeah, with women's basketball.
Yes.
Yeah. So the group chat is activated. Are you guys watching this? And I'm chaperoning. I'm like on a kids basketball trip. Like we're
Yes.
playing mini golf. I'm not. I'm playing. I don't playing ping pong at Tiger Woods mini golf. Pop stick,
Yeah.
pop shake, strokes
Okay.
stick,
Yes.
top golf adjacent. Uh, I was there for 4 or 5 hours. It all became a blur. Um, are you guys watching this? I'm not watching this, so I just stay silent. I know I'm staying in my lane. And you guys are bleep 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 bleep
As
bleep
a
bleep
group chat does.
as the group chat does. When it what is I don't have a verb for that. When it goes at it erupts a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Uh
When
so my favorite thing, so I'm like, okay, whatever, I'm used to it. I'm not I'm not on this trip with them. But my favorite part was comments like, "Oh shit, that was fucked up." Am I allowed to say that?
well,
Okay, well you
I
can
mean,
bleep
sure.
that.
I don't know.
Like, "Oh snap." And then that was garbage. And then somebody will reply with, "Yeah, she's not playing very well." And then there's all these like, I have no idea, like gives me no information. And I'm like, I don't know if like they're winning, if they're
Yeah.
losing, if uh, I didn't.
It's like the group chat was assuming people were watching.
Well, right, 3 out of the 4 people were, and I also knew I wasn't, so I just stayed out of it.
It's not
But I
a it's
also
not an
like,
ESPN live
guess
game
what?
thread.
My second question of the night: who won that game? What was the score?
I did cover this a little bit earlier, but you weren't with me. The Husky women lost to USC.
Oh.
Uh,
And there's somebody that is likable on USC or very good.
yeah, they have a freshman named Jazzy Davidson who's very
What
good.
a cool name.
They also have Malia Samuels, who I got to coach against when she was in Seattle, East Side Catholic, and then
Yeah.
she went to Garfield. And she played a lot in that game. So, Huskies struggled. It was a struggle, but struggles too strong. They didn't finish well, and El Ladine struggled. I think she was 0
Is
for
she
9.
that positive player? What is it called when you're like points positive, points negative? Is she like when she has a good game, they have a good game? Like Liddea
She's
Daniels was that at one
Oh
point.
yeah. No, they're more balanced this year, but
Okay.
they just, it was their first real test. They hadn't played anyone very good this year, and it was on the road, so
Hmm.
I'm not too worried.
Okay.
But it's a
Sweet.
really hard conference.
Go dogs.
Really hard conference. Go Dogs.
The Big
One more?
12 is.
You got one.
How
Big
many
10.
teams are
Big
in the
10.
Big 12?
Well,
10.
the Huskies are in the Big 10.
But there's more than 10
There's
teams.
18 teams in the
Yeah.
Big 10. Big 12 also doesn't have 12 teams. You got
Yeah.
one more for me?
The oh, the other thing I didn't know, you just texted me. UW men's soccer team won. Yay!
In
And
the Final Four.
I didn't know what level, and it was my bad that I
Final
didn't.
Four.
That's the final. I did
What do
my
you think?
research. I saw their
Yeah.
pictures of the semifinal, and they are going to play Furman University,
Mm,
and then the other side of the bracket is St. Louis and
somebody else. Okay, Dana, I want to ask you a question.
yeah,
How are you feeling about the announcement of the World Cup draw slash now we know which games are going to be played in Seattle?
yeah. I have mixed feelings about it because I feel like a kid that's really excited about something that they know that their parents are going to say no to. Not that you're my parent or that there is a parent, but that it's
What about
like,
your parents?
yeah,
I'll
no,
buy you tickets.
I don't. I'm still bitter about 1994, so I don't think that that's really a pathway. Uh,
Wait, do you think your parents listen? No.
no,
Do you want to tell the story of 1994? I'd love to hear
yeah. In 1994, my dad worked at Boeing, and he had like an associate or an acquaintance that worked at Canon, like copies and cameras. And there was very few people. There, the soccer fans basically were like a secret club with a secret handshake. And so this Canon guy,
I don't even know the handshake because I wasn't
yeah,
good enough.
because yeah,
Yeah,
it wasn't being good at soccer. It's just liking it.
fair.
And because I don't know, my dad ever even played soccer. Uh,
Fair. But you like
uh,
soccer a lot.
loves it. Yeah,
Yeah.
he loves it. He fell in love with it when he lived in Europe
Yeah.
from 1968 to 1972. And anyway, so he's shooting the breeze with this guy, let's call him Sam from Canon. And Sam from Canon's like, oh, hey, well, we're going to be a sponsor. Steve, I'll let you know if we have tickets. So Sam calls Steve up and he says, Steve, I'm so excited to tell you I have tickets. And my dad's like, yeah, yeah. And then he says, I have two tickets. They're both in LA
Yeah.
to the Rose Bowl, I
Rose
think,
Bowl. Yeah,
hosted
pretty sure.
group stage games also.
Yeah.
Um, I have Brazil, Russia, and my dad goes, "Whoa, that's
Brazil.
cool." Yeah,
Very
like,
cool.
well, he was just excited. I mean, he
Yeah.
would have gone to
Right. You would have got
like
anything. But
Belgium.
Brazil's pretty exciting in 1994 or any time. But
Right.
yes, yeah,
Yeah. Brazil, Russia. He's like, okay, okay. Or tickets to the final. And my dad tells a story and he's like, and like I got chicken skin, my hair went up on my arm. I was like, the final, the final. So my dad got tickets to the final. It was on a Sunday, as it is. And it was I had just started playing select or P2 was Premier 2, whatever. It was
Yeah.
club soccer. And we had a cool camp we were going to, and we were going to go from Sunday to Friday or Sunday to Saturday. And it was down in Olympia at the Evergreen State College campus. Great camp. I loved it. It was like really, really hot, but it was on that Sunday. And my dad's like, I'm taking your mom to LA. We're going on a road trip. And I was like, what? Wait a
Oh,
second. And at that, as a 14-year-old, I was like, 95% of anything I cared about was soccer. And I like
yeah.
loved the men's national team and Kobe Jones and
Jeff a Goose,
Jeff Agu, yeah,
Alexi
Marcelo
Lalas,
Balboa, yeah, um, Tad Ramos, and anyway, I loved them
Viola,
all. Loved them all. And like the guy who elbowed Tad, it was elbowed Tad in the head, I think.
Tab.
Tab. Not the drink is Tad,
No,
and the boy is Tab.
they're both Tab with a
Tab.
B.
Okay. Wonder if he liked Tab. Anyway, he got elbowed. I believe that was him who got the concussion. Leonardo was the Brazilian player. He played my position. I loved watching him. He got red carded out of the game, and I never got to see him again
Yeah.
because he
Ever.
got
Yeah.
ejected. I mean, and then I did.
This was the famous
The point
final
is,
where
I told my dad, I begged my dad. I said, I'm going to learn more in a World Cup final than I will at a whole week of summer camp or soccer camp. Like, I don't need to go to soccer camp. And he's like, your mom and I are renting a car and we're going to LA. And I was like, I don't. And it was this whole thing. So
so
I just always, I hold it against him, I resent him. And I was like, you owe me a World Cup final, obviously.
right. Or maybe just like
And so I was excited it was
a
coming
group
to the
stage.
US. And it's just, I just feel
I think
very
the moral of
disappointed.
the
It feels
story,
very price limiting. But I get it
it's
that
not. The
premium
moral,
sports in America or Americans are willing to pay a premium and stuff. That's what the FIFA organizers.
supply and demand. The moral of the story is someone should play this for Steve, and then Steve should buy you a ticket for him
For Belgium, Egypt.
for Belgium, Egypt.
But wait, this is my idea. I was driving past the stadiums today. I drove past them twice today, and I thought, I wonder if they're going to utilize T-Mobile at all. I mean, I know that Mariners games will be going on, and I was like, would it undercut the price of the tickets if they had like a viewing party at T-Mobile?
No,
Because
I think it'd be fine. Yeah.
I want that to happen. Just like I wanted to go and stand near Lumen Field when Taylor Swift
Yeah.
was there. I didn't want to sing along with anybody. I just wanted to hear it, just like I heard Paul McCartney. But
I don't
I
want to go
I
to
am
a beach party.
excited. I am excited for the World Cup energy. I keep hearing Seattle might get canceled, but I don't know is what's that all about. I don't know what that's all about. And I
Uh,
think I'm not
it's
giving it much,
that's a
yeah,
hard one to get into on a sports podcast.
because it
That's
doesn't have to do with sports.
well, no, because I don't want to say something that's gonna piss somebody off. So the best way I can say it is that
How likely do you think it is that Seattle gets its World Cup games taken away?
not likely. It's a
That's all I
threat
need to
by
know.
it's a threat by Trump based on other
Yeah,
factors. And then Trump just won a FIFA Peace Prize, so
good for him.
do with that what you will. Anything lastly you want to talk
That
about?
was my third question and then there's going to be informational kiosks all over Seattle.
Oh, that's exciting.
They're 8 feet tall. There's going to be
I
30
did
of them.
not learn about this is news to me. This is
Yeah.
interesting.
They're
Okay.
gonna some number of them is going to be installed between January and March, and then the rest will come before June.
I kind of want
And
to
then they'll
leave
stay
town.
up, and then they'll stay up forever.
I don't want to be here, actually. There's
Yeah.
too many people. Does that surprise you?
I don't think it's going to be as many people as you think. I don't think going to Marination is going to be a good idea. It'll be pretty busy because people will be buzzing.
Yeah,
We could Airbnb our house.
can't. There's too much stuff.
I got to start getting rid of it.
Um, can we finish with the top five? That's just Dana
Mhm.
special. I'm putting you on the
I thought
spot.
Felix
This
was
is
coming.
not fair. Felix refused to be on the podcast. He was
Oh,
invited. Um,
someday,
can
Lincoln,
you
I'll
give me
get to.
your top five favorite athletes of all time?
Well,
Don't have to do them in order.
Lawrence Griffith Joyner.
Awesome choice, Flojo.
Oh, this is super duper obscure. Another Olympian. I'm probably gonna have a lot of
Okay.
Olympians. Johan Olaf Koss of the Norwegian long track speed skating team.
Yep.
Do
That
your research.
I don't think.
He's a humanitarian for the ages. He's incredible.
Okay, if
He was.
even listeners who know you well, if you gave him 10 guesses, that wasn't coming up.
I just love that guy.
Okay.
So then, mm, five is hard because it's like there's too many.
Just what comes to mind? Give me a couple more.
Brian will know who I'm not saying after the podcast, but I'm not going to say two of the people that are coming to mind.
Okay.
Um, Mia Hamm,
Yeah, that's a good one.
um, the
Leonardo.
Leonardo, oh, the
Just
guy
talking about.
from, I'm like, the guy from Brazil, 94. I could get out my card collection from the 1994.
Yes.
I was talking to my Romanian Uber driver, Arnell, in Phoenix about Ceausescu, who is also a really good player in the 94. He's on the
not getting
Romanian
to the top.
national team. He's not getting
Get
to the
to
top. I I don't want to be too cliche. Messi's pretty awesome, and I saw him play live. And I was just speaking to a French parent at who's from San Francisco at the tournament. We were just the basketball tournament, and we were talking about how in incredibly awesome the men's World Cup final was in 2022, and Messi had a lot to do with that. Kylian Mbappe kind of has like wizard magic.
And is your fifth Matthew Bryan and Manning? You really liked him when he played for the
I
Huskies.
just liked that his name sounded like amazing.
Oh,
Um,
how about um,
Sydney McLaughlin. There's some track and field people who I just like absolutely like Raj Benjamin. He got second place. He and another guy set a world record, and he was so disappointed. He thought the world was so disappointed in him, and he's like apologizing, and he got silver medal, and he set a world record.
Dana? Heavy on the Olympic sports than soccer. I thought maybe that Joey Cora was going to make your list, or Carlos Guillen, since you saw him do a
Who's
wonderful.
Skia?
Carlos Guillen, he
Gian?
did the didn't you go to that White Sox game where they won the series and he did the squeeze bunt? No,
I don't know what you're talking about.
not right.
If you're referring to my experience, one of my first Safeco Field experiences, I was in Bellingham, and we just came down on random Tuesday to go to a Mariners game, and we knew we had to drive back to Bellingham, so we were getting ready to
I'm
leave.
not talking about this one.
And we were standing next to a man who sort of looked like Randy Johnson, but definitely wasn't Randy Johnson. But I was just giving you the picture of who we were looking at. And we knew he wasn't Randy Johnson because
I don't know if you should tell this story.
no, but it's just he had I have one too. He had a Mariners giveaway free bag that was like navy blue with the yellow piping that said Mariners like that in the block letters. And then he was wearing a Xena Warrior Princess sidekick shirt. Her name was Willow.
So amazing.
He had really
Long Randy Johnson hair.
red hair.
Uh-huh.
And then I think he had a hat, but my picture of my story. And I still don't know what a squeeze play is, but
He really
we
wanted
lost
it.
that Mariners game, and he turned around and he pumped his fist with his bag and he said, "Someone missed a call. That should have been a squeeze play."
One of the best experiences at a Mariners game
I
ever.
love that guy.
And I love
Being a warrior princess is the best.
I love that you still don't know what a squeeze play is. That's perfect.
I mean, is it like playing pickle? Like what?
But it can be. It's not.
Squeeze.
Do you really want me to explain it? And want me to finish?
We like 17 times a year, and I never know what it is. And I just love that memory. So
If
we were
you,
out where the pen is. There wouldn't even be standing room. People, there'd be so many drunk college kids there these days because that's where they
it
hang
had the
out.
same effect, yeah.
Oh, he was the best.
If you want to buy,
Someone said college should have been a squeeze play.
if you want to buy Dana and I World Cup tickets, we'd be happy to
Go
take
find
them.
us.
If you would like to just go to like a Mariners game with us in the summer and you're loyal podcast listeners, we'd love it as well.
And if you feel lukewarm about baseball, then you'll have fun. If you really, really like baseball, I will be distracting and annoying.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on, Dana. Wonderful to have you.
Still trying to think of my top 5 athletes.
You already did it. You named them, and they were great. But maybe we'll have a revision in a year when we get to episode
It's
110.
such a hard question. You can't have just.
I know. Well, you didn't ask me mine, but
Oh, well, what are yours? You just know off the top of your head. Ken Griffey Jr.,
Ken Griffey Jr. number one.
Gary Payton.
Gary Payton. See, you know me so well. This is why we've been married so long. It's great. There's two.
I remember. Is anyone on the Huskies one of them?
Actually, it's hard after two.
I was thinking, I loved seeing Marcus Tuiasosopo. He did something where he took over in a Nebraska game when he didn't start the Nebraska game, but somebody got hurt and he
Right,
took
totally.
over, and
Yeah.
I was like sold. I'm sold on Marcus Tuiasosopo.
I
Tui.
think favorite athletes all time, Napoleon Kaufman is on the list. He was a Huskies running back.
Yeah. He wore little.
He was great. Yeah, he had like the crop top jerseys. Those are sweet.
Number 24.
He was number 8.
Oh.
He was great. So he's probably on my list.
Is Michael Jordan on your list?
No, it's not local enough for me.
Okay. Well, see,
I know.
Eddie Henderson. The pride and joy of he's in 3 Hall of Fames. I didn't know this. I knew he was. I think. Well, maybe he's not in the Husky Hall of Fame. He played
in my
for.
top 5 right now.
But he's my favorite. He's from here.
I'm glad we didn't end yet.
He went to UW. He played for the FC Seattle Storm. I don't know if he was young enough, still playing when the Sounders reformed and then did the A-League stuff. But I walked into O'Day High School. Is it O'Day High School?
Yes, it is.
Um, because it's not Seattle Prep High School, it's Seattle Preparatory School.
Great.
Um, he went there and he was on their wall of honor, and I almost wept. I just love him so much. He taught me so much about soccer, both by watching him, and his size and his stature were similar to mine. And he was my counselor at my day camp when I was like 9. And he taught me how to use my butt to box out.
I appreciate you interrupting my top five to tell me that
My
story.
knee.
Uh, so that's three. I'm gonna throw Sue Bird on my list.
Yeah.
She's my
Safeway
favorite point
Sue.
guard of all time, and that includes Gary Payton. Um, and then my fifth favorite athlete of all time, Marshawn Lynch.
I love Marshall
Loved
Lynch.
everything about watching Marshawn Lynch play.
What position was Richard Sherman?
Cornerback,
Ah, and then what position is Nick from the Seahawks now? Safety.
corner slash safety slash
He can do
linebacker.
either.
He does everything. That's why he's amazing.
He's so amazing. I
Hey,
heard
if you want to buy
this
a
one. I heard on
Seahawk
the radio
tickets,
that Cam.
it's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. If you
Hey.
want to buy a Seahawk tickets, we'll also take that. Basically, the podcast is a GoFundMe to send Dana and I to live sporting events.
And then we can get our reactions.
Yeah, live reactions. We'll put them on like those YouTubers that unbox things.
DeAndre Yedlin.
He's
He
not on my
also
list.
went to. Well,
Okay.
I'm just trying to think of.
Dana, we have to end the podcast now. Okay. Thanks for coming on. Bye, everybody.